Hey guys, it's Tarek with Cyclone FPV, and I appreciate y'all, whoever can tune in. I know I didn't give you much time on this one, but this is a last minute, I think I posted about an hour ago, last minute video going live. I was really excited with the help of my pilots and some future pilots and some input from you guys. Real excited to put together a video on the new frame. This is it, the new Leviticus, the ultralight 220v1. It is by all accounts, probably the most amazing frame I've made in terms of getting creative to make the weight hit. I think if you saw the pictures here, and you can find it on the website, this is the 4mm version, and this one is weighed in at 58 grams. Very strong. I flew the similar one. I made a test one a couple days ago before tweaking it down, and I flew it, and it flew like a beast. It was extremely fast. I mean, given the right circumstances, it could have been pushed harder than what I was able to do, but under the circumstances I was at, it was pretty scary. I mean, it was pretty intense. So this is the frame we're going to be doing today. This is what we're going to be working on today. And at 58 grams, we're gonna stack this thing out with everything and make it extremely powerful, and see what we've got with it. So I'm going to set the cameras up here real quick. Bear with me a sec. I've got a little, I think it's crooked here. Let me see if I can get this camera set right. Should be okay. Let me go this route, and we'll come in from the top here and set that up, and let me see if we've got everything else set. We should be good to go. All right, so we've got both angles here. All right, so there you go. And we'll do a picture-in-picture so that you guys can watch all of it. And let me just make sure that I've got this ready. And let's see, there we go. Oh, it's all right, David. I see your text. Don't you worry about it, bud. You know what? I tell you like this. One day, people are gonna not worry about it, and maybe people will take us a little more seriously. But until then, hell, we're gonna do the best we can, and we're gonna have some fun with it. So let me get my other screen ready, and you can see my ugly face now. Okay. So tonight we're going to do this build, and we're going to do it based on what we think would be a pretty awesome test quad, right? So I'm letting you guys kind of chime in on it. Now, one of the, hey, thanks Westover and Lucian and David and Julio and all you guys I see all there. I'm sorry I missed some of the scrolling comments there, but I do want to thank y'all for being here and tuning in. I'm really proud of this frame. Like I said, it is probably, as in terms of just having to get super creative to keep strength, and also cut the weight, and I did not intend to go sub 60 grams on this thing. It just happened to come out that way when I started kind of figuring out what was wasted, what I could really cut back on. Okay, so we'll go over the frame a little bit, and I'll show you some of the things on it, and let's go ahead and decide. So the first thing is, I know that some of the guys that are going to be testing this frame are going to be wanting to fly 5 and 6S. So motor wise, let's chime in and see what you guys feel like. I'm going to pass on that one, on the F1 Revolt for right now, because I did not pull any out to be ready for this, but I will most likely add that for the next build. Sorry, man, it's behind me, and I haven't done anything to pull them out yet. Usually on something like this, because most people will be flying a hobby wing or a HLRC or something along those lines, it's usually what I'll pick now, but I will grab one. 1750 to 1900 kV. All right, so let me go grab those motors real quick. I can start with that at least, and give me 1 second. All right, so I'm going to grab the Chaos 1750s. So let me get those going first. And as you guys know already, these are the ones, these are made for us by Brother Hobby. We have the these are ours here that they made for us with the rainbows. These are the 2207 and a halfs, 1750 kV. So let me get these set out. And then I think what we can do is we can run 60 amps on these. So I may go with the HLRC Titan, just because I want to really push some power to this, and that can handle the 6S. So let me go ahead and get that going. And we'll work on getting it all fit properly. So, all right, so here's the, let me get my Lego guy. Is my Lego guy? Yeah, he's right here. So let me aim that up. I want my son. That's for my son, Jaden. What's up, buddy? There's your Lego guy right there. And he's going to keep track to make sure I don't lose anything. All right, so that's that. Let me grab a Titan stack real quick. Let's see, Titan stack, here we go. Good, so there's our Titan stack. And we'll get this out. Now, I probably won't use this VTX because this is, oh, thanks, man, I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a deal with Brother Hobby. All the new line, including this 20, including this series, the 1750s and so forth, 2207.5s and up, are going to have that new, this metallic rainbow will be ours. It'll be our signature, and so I'm really excited about that. But it did not apply to, obviously, their older ones that they already put out, so if you see those would not be ours. But these ones are going to be printed with our logo, and it'll say Chaos. Somewhere on here it says Chaos, I think. Yeah, right there, Chaos. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what it says right there. All right, so we've got the two boards right here, and now we're going to grab a VTX, because I'm not going to use this one. It is not, I don't know, maybe it would fit. I'll check and see. We'll see. It'll be a last-minute deal one way or the other. But because of the thickness, I'm not so sure that's going to go. Let's see. And I will keep track of these. I'll keep track of the comments here as I look up. I've cleaned off everything. It's almost perfectly spotless in my shop now, thank God. All right, so some of the things that I do want to show you guys on this frame real quick, and I need to get my, I guess, I don't know if I'm just blocking this. Let me see if I can not have my ugly mug in the way. I'll just move it to the top here, maybe. Okay, let's try that. All right, so one of the things that I did want to show you guys, and I mentioned in the post, is the arm lock feature and the quick arm changing on this one. So just like it was on the previous model that I showed you guys, which came at the request of one of our pilots, Aaron, it was to make things quicker. So what I did is I designed these arms different, and you're going to see very quickly. So there's two screws here, right? There are going to be two screws that bolt in. This is the only one that's going to hold the arm in. So let me just show you. It's going to be very simple, just like it was on the previous model. One screw out, arm slides out. That's it. It's forked here. This is a design that I came up with to make this swap out really quickly. It's very strong, so don't be misled here. The screw will actually go all the way to the edge, and this sucker is going to be extremely strong to hold in place. Like I said, I've already flown it, and I flew it hard, and it held very well. So if you notice here, and I'll try to zoom in just a little bit if I can. If you notice here, these edges are cut at 45-degree angles. And so what happens is when you slide this in, right, and let's say you replace it and you slide it in, just like that, it actually binds, and you can see this right here, it'll actually link up. If you see the gap here, it closes in to the one next to it, and so there's no movement once you bolt it down, okay? So that was the design behind this, that was the idea behind this, sorry. And so it's one screw in, one screw out, that's it, and the arm changes and you're set. I will tell you guys a quick warning, the tips on these right here are extremely sharp. If you want to file them down when you get one of these, please do so. They are sharp. There's no doubt about it. I didn't round them out because I don't want to, but if you choose to, go right ahead and sand them so you don't bleed. All right? All right, so let's get started, and we'll start knocking this out real quickly because we're going to have to start measuring things out and seeing how everything's going to fit, and we'll grab components as we need. All right? So let's just get to it. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. My whole goal is I want to get us on the market here. You guys, my pilots, and some of you guys who have chimed in, you wanted lighter? Man, we started at 101 grams. Then we went to 78, then 75, then 68, now 58. I don't think I can get much lighter. I would really be compromising a lot, and I don't really feel like wanting to do that. One of the things I did want to show you guys also, and I meant to do this when I took the arm off, in mine that I tested, I did a full flight into the ground. Now I went camera first, straight nosedive into the ground to see where it would break, and it did break, and it broke on the arms as expected. But here's where it broke on the arms. So what I've done is I've actually, in still being able to reduce the weight, I bumped out the arms where it fastens, and I bumped out this area as well, so it wasn't so straight. So far it's proven to be much stronger that way, but I will tell you that at about 70% throttle, straight into the ground, the arms will break. Sorry, this is part of it. We go lighter, they're very strong, they'll handle the motors, but when you pound in, like I did, that's what's going to happen. All right, so let's get the ESC set out first and make sure that we can clear everything. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think based on this, I'm going to raise the ESC, and I'll show you something else here in a second, but I am going to go ahead and use a 45 millimeter screw, and I'm going to explain to you why, and I put it in a post. Let me go grab 4 of these real quick. Actually, it's a 40 millimeter, my apologies. Let me grab 4 40s and show you why. And I can show you based on this one here. So this is my, this is the one that I test flew, and let me show you this. Okay. So one of the things that I really liked about this design. Now this is a little bit thicker, so this came in heavier than that one, only because of the top plates, but the arms are the same thickness. So the 40 millimeter screws will actually mount from the bottom, and they will go through the top plate. And if you notice, the top plate has holes right here. And so what the design for that is that they can go through, and then you can put your, this is a GoPro session mount that we make here using our Mark Forged printers with Onyx, and then it'll bolt in underneath, right? So I'll zoom out here. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was such a close-up, but it'll actually go all the way through. So not only are you stabilizing the top plate, but you're able to fully fasten your session mount if that's what you're going to be using, or whatever mount you may find yourself using. I mean, it's kind of up to you, but that's what I had done it for. And so I'm going to go ahead and start off with 45 millimeter screws because I anticipate putting another session on this when I fly. So we're going to go ahead and get those in, and I will get this automatic tool here. Let's get started. I'm just looking around, make sure we've got everything here. Hey man, I appreciate that, Lucian. I really do. I have to tell you guys. I mean, here's the deal. I've got the ability to make things happen, but it's your input, everybody's input, that makes it possible. So let's make it clear that it's a team effort. It's an effort based on the feedback I get from others. I mean, again, I'm going to reference this itty bitty quad right here that I make. When you guys see this, whoever gets into one of these, I'm going to tell you right now, this sucker's tiny. It's extremely fast. And again, I wouldn't have even thought about making something that small until somebody asked. So, the Leviticus, do they have the same? The arms, yes, the arms will actually, they'll do somewhat of the similar thing like the other one, except that on the larger Leviticus, let me see if I can find. Let me see. Actually, they're kind of put up right now. I wouldn't be able to even pull the arm out. But okay, so on the larger, let me just kind of show you the difference, because I'm not going to stop making this, right? You have the ultralight, then you have the regular, and so this is the regular one, right? This is the regular Leviticus, and this is Extreme Beast right here. The arms basically on this one branched out, like you can see this branch out, and it went inside and it tightened that way. So this will be the same way. It just doesn't branch out. It's only slotted in the center, right? So it's a different cut. Now this one will be this is still going to be on the M series. This is probably more for my skill level. This would be my quad to fly. You guys that get to fly every day, I get to make your quads hopefully, but I don't get to fly as much. So this one I know because of how I kind of loosely fly and like to just take it, like push it over concrete. This one would be more in line with me. The motors though, this is the other Leviticus. This is the first one, and this is also going to be available. This is, again, one that is extremely fast, but it's obviously weighted more. But this has the motor lock technology on it, our patent pending on that. These don't have it because it's going to be, the arms are too thin. I mean, here you're only using 2 bolts. On that one you're using 04. So there's definitely a couple different variations. But the arms do tighten. I mean, they won't budge. I can tell you right now, I have not even tightened this down, and this arm's getting, now this one is because I have not put the screw in yet. But once that screw is in there, this arm isn't moving at all. So, and it's not tightened yet, so you can plan on it. And I'll show you real quickly how that's going to work. But let's get to this. So again, we're talking about the variations here. No, man, you don't have to. Please, your questions are awesome, and they allow me to, I can work and answer at the same time. And it helps because I'm sure there's other people that have questions. So by all means, please ask your questions. I'm sure it's going to help answer somebody else's. I think that on the one I showed you earlier, I think I got it in there at 250 grams without lipo, but with all the components, something like that. And we're gonna see tonight. This is something I've been working hard on, and I'm not going to finish this build. I'm not gonna finish the video tonight until the build is done. So you guys may be here for a long time, or we may move through this pretty quickly. We'll see. All right, let's get the fourth one in. I will tell you though that even though the arm's broke, and that was a head on. I mean, pounding into the ground. The tips didn't break, and nothing else on the frame. The GoPro session mount was solid. Everything was pretty solid. So I was really excited to kind of get a test on that. All right, so we've got our setup here, and we're going to go ahead and just kind of get started to see how high I want to keep this off. I'm probably going to raise it about 3 millimeters or so. And to do that, I'm going to start off with some nylon standoffs. Some nylon fasteners. Oops, as they fly all over the place. All right, and then just to give you an idea before we put this together, what I was talking about with the top plate is, as you'll see here, once this fastens down, you've got roughly 5 millimeters or a little bit more than that left, so you could mount. Now this is a 40 millimeter. On a 35 millimeter screw, I'm barely punching through the top, so it wasn't enough for me to fasten something that was, say, 2 or 3 millimeters thick. But as you can see right there, these are going to come right through the top, and because there's going to be spacers and standoffs and stuff in between, this frame, the top piece is going to be super strong. So actually, let me see. I may be able to. Let me see if I can get away with a 35 real quick. Let me just check again. I don't think so, but we'll find out real quick. Yeah, I guess on the 35, this might actually work now because I reduced some of the height. So it may work. It's going to give you, I still don't think it's going to be good. It's not going to give you enough grip, but somewhere in between there would be ideal. But I don't mind these extending out because if I don't have anything on the top, basically it's going to end up protecting the frame anyway. So what difference does it make to me? All right. But it does avoid you from having to add straps or anything else on there, so it's definitely pretty handy to have that. I have to do 4 millimeter on the bottom for the strap, 2 millimeter between the ESC, and then 1 millimeter. Yeah. Well, that's what so that's what I was thinking was, in this case, because we're going to pack everything in here, and there's clearly not a lot of real estate here to put much else down, I'm going to leave that gap just for the strap purpose alone. And see what we can do with that. So let me just kind of, that's what I'm hoping, man. That was the idea. And I got to tell you, I mean, the input was to keep making it better and better and better. And I love when people chime in. And like I said, if you tell me it sucks, great. Then we're going to make it better. Without input, we don't have anything. What I've told people in the past is, whatever you do, don't be a yes man, because if you think that's what I need, all it does is set me up for somebody to tell me how I screwed up. So please tell me from the beginning, save me the embarrassment. I'll throw 100 darts. All I need is one to stick. That's it. All right, so let me just kind of get this fastener to go down quicker. This is a little way to make it go faster. All right, we got one more to go. And then we should be pretty clear. How flexible is it? Well, I'll kind of try to help you out to understand that in a second, but I don't know the best way, because you cannot see what I'm doing. I can tell you that I tried to bend it, right? Now, I'm going to tell you honestly, because I've got more carbon fiber splinters than most people, I'm very scared to push it beyond where I think it should go. But I can take this frame when the top is on and everything, and I can sit there and try to bend it, and I cannot get it to move. However, these points start poking in me pretty quickly. I'm sure you could snap it if you tried hard enough, but it's not any more than any of probably some of the other frames. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and say it can't be broken by hand, but it would take a good amount of force. That's the best I got on that one, and I hope that I'm not trying to avoid the question. I just don't want to do it because the splinters hurt. But I will tell you that I took the other one initially and wrecked it a couple times. I mean, I hit the ground pretty good, but I didn't nosedive and nothing broke. So it's definitely, it's got some strength there. But we'll see. I mean, time will tell. Yeah, I know you like that old school move, right? I'm efficient right now. I'm trying to be efficient. I know we're late into the night. I don't want you guys falling asleep on me. All right, so right now I've bumped it 3 millimeters, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab me one of the, let me see if this will go. I'll take this Kevlar strap, and just let me see how clear I can get it. And that's gonna move pretty clear actually. So I think I'll stop at 3. We've got no components on the bottom of this ESC that I'm worried about. So 3, and then I could see 3 or 4. But for the sake of just kind of, I don't know how high I'm going to have to go yet with this, so we're just going to go with 3 and see where we're at. All right, so let me get this going. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I just cut earlier this evening a 5 millimeter arm for this. So you are going to have 2 versions, right? To choose from. You will have the 4 millimeter arms and the 5 millimeter arms, and I'll grab one of the 5 millimeters to show you. Unfortunately, as I was cutting it, I was not. I think one of the bits I'm using is worn out. I noticed that the carbon was shifting. So let me grab this and see if I can find it real quick. Where did I put it? Well, I put the arm down somewhere, and I'm sure I'll find it here in just a little bit. But the 5 millimeter arm is pretty stout. I just don't know where I've put it right now. But it is going to come in both 4 millimeter and 5 millimeter options. I mean, you can go thicker. I've got up to 8 millimeter. I just don't know if that's really going to solve anything. But anyways, all right. So let me go ahead and just get this on here and see where we're at. That's a nice fit, and you can see it's leaving some pretty good room. So with 3 millimeters plus the anti-vibration, what do you call it, the inserts right there, we should be good. 2205, which is pretty fast and light as hell. Oh yeah, it should be, I don't know, I'm gonna get the thrust to weight ratio because I know I benchmarked these motors before, and I feel like we're getting very close to a goal that I had anticipated a long time ago. All right, so real quickly, I'm just going to, now that I've got somewhat of a clean bench, I'm going to get the notepad out so I can make some final notes on this, guys, because whoever gets these, you're gonna need these notes to build it just like this. So let me grab this, and let me grab a pen. And we did the UL before, and I said that it was 60 millimeters of wire, but I want to verify. All right, so let's see what we got. That's 85. I'm just going to look for a heat shrink that is 60. Hopefully I have one. If not, I'll just make one real quickly. Nope. 85, 75. Sorry guys, one more minute. Well, is this 60? This looks like a 60. Is that it? Yep, that's 60 right there. Perfect. All right. So we're going to get an idea here of how long this wire needs to be. So here's 60, and there is no way in heck that can't be right. My notes are wrong. So motor wire length is going to be much longer than 60. I want to say it was 95. I think I don't know where I got 60 from, but I want to say it was 95. So we'll go from the we'll go from their heat shrink, and we'll go up and see where we're at, and we should be at a 95 may be long, but let's see. That's going to put us right here. Oh yeah, that's super long. Okay, so let me go to here. Let's see where I'm at. Sorry. these builds, when we change things, you guys get to deal with it with me. So from there, it's going to be, we'll go 75. All right, so on the 2207.5 1750 kV, we're going to go 75, which should get us around, down, and over to here. We may have to extend that to 80. One last check. Yep, we're going to go to 80. Okay, 80 millimeters. All right, so I know I have an 80 here. I just saw it just a minute ago. So let me grab that. And I believe it's the white one. It is. So since this is already pre-measured, let's just go ahead and get all these motors done real quickly. And so this is where we're cutting these wires. Hey, but all I'm doing is so I can have a consistent length cut. I didn't say I was putting it on there yet. Hang tight. All right, let's get this next one. These little tricks, these little shortcuts just help to make sure all my wires are the same. I like everything to be weighted the same evenly and distributed evenly. So we have 1, 2. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, these, I like the motors a lot, and these are actually the ones that are in the 3115 series motors that we have now, and then the 4215 and the 5215 that are on the way are all going to be mirrored like this one. So we are working to get those in as soon as possible so we can finish our X-Class frames. Then we will have ultralight and ultra X, maybe. I don't know what it would call it, but it is going to be phenomenal. I can promise you that. All right, so our motors are ready to be tinned and such. So we'll go ahead and get started on that real quick. Let me get the tools put away. Okay, so I flew. Yeah, it would. I mean, this frame would be good. I just, you know, again, I think the frame would work with anything for the most part. It's just the 3400s are extremely, man, they're beasts, right? So it should be fine, but you know, I don't know. I flew mine yesterday on a 4S or 2 days ago on a 4S, and it was 6 speed, so I think you'd be fine. I don't think there'd be a problem with that at all, unless you fly like me. If you fly like me, where you only get to fly once a month, so you just go balls to the wall from the beginning, you're gonna pound it pretty quick, like I do. But if you have the skill to not do that, then yeah, you'll be just fine. All right, let me just tin these real quick, and we'll kind of speed along here. Just gonna get all these kind of done at the same time, so we're not stopping. But yeah, the 3400 kVs, man, they're stout. They're a very stout motor. Those are the first motors that have ever scared me. And if for those of you that watched that live video when I took off with it and then cut the motor in the air and it pounded into the concrete, I don't usually get scared on these motors, but that one freaked me the hell out. All right, so there's 3, and we're going to get our 4th one done. Tin these real quick, get them mounted, soldered, and get going. All right, let's get the trash off. I am trying to make the effort to clean up as I go, because Lord knows I spend hours cleaning every day. All right, let's get this done. Put this on. All right, here we go. I hear you. Yeah, I think that you know, I think the Leviticus frames are going to be excellent for race builds. I think that you'll have your different, you know, your different type of frame based on your own comfort level and what you want to get out of the quad. I mean, there's more real estate on the heavier ones. I believe that the one I flew, not this recent one, but the original one I made weighed in at 101 grams. So it's almost double the weight, a little less than double, obviously, but there's more real estate on there to easily add more components. Yeah, I was asked if this frame would be able to accommodate individual ESCs because the arms are so thin. I presented that to my pilots as an option, and I think David's response was that, you know, this is an ultralight. It's going to be a 4-in-1 frame, and I kind of agree with him on it. But you know, I'll wait to see what everybody says, but I think for the idea of ultralight, you have to be willing to make certain modifications, like a 4-in-1. Yeah, that's for sure. It is a. I hover at 10% or less on this. This one under 10% on the 3400 kV on a regular frame that we made. It was at 10%. It was pretty insane. All right, I am going to go ahead and heat treat these just because I want to follow the practice that I would recommend for people, especially. Let me see if I can find the right tubing here real quick. There's all my damn tubing. I got 500 tubings and I don't know where the heck they went. Now this would be too thin, I think, but we'll give it a shot. What's the colors? Purple? Let's see what we got. We'll try something. See if these are too thin. If they're too thin, I'll find something else. I do not have a purple though, but let me see if this will even fit. Yeah, right? I mean, it's pretty intense. Yeah, that's way too small. Damn it. Well, I guess I'll just use this. This is going to be a little bit too big, but hell, it's purple. It'll work. So let me just, that's way too big, but hey, let me see how much it'll shrink down first, and maybe we can make something cool happen with it. All right, let's see what we get out of this one. Be kind of neat, though. Actually, this may work out pretty good. Yeah, that looks like it'll be good. All right, so we're gonna go with this. Kind of keep the color going here. All right, there's one. Hey Ben, you'll be back in no time, bro. Don't even think about it. We got your stuff. I'm waiting for you to tell me when you're coming back. All right, 1, 2 more to go, and we're ready to get started. All right, brother, take care, Ben. Hey, Ben, remember, family first. Take care of your obligations. We all have them, and we all understand. Don't you worry. All right, so let's see what we got. Now, that being said, my focus has been on the ultralight racing frame. I've been promising you guys I'm going to update the website. I am breaking things down into what the frame's purpose is. So obviously this will fall under ultralight for racing. I did promise some customers that I would also now shift focus to freestyle, and that's actually going to happen tomorrow. The focus will go back to the Diablo frames and really get something for freestyle and that is extremely strong. And it's already been out. The Diablo series has been extremely strong, the 220CKs or the 220v1s. But I want to put some focus back into those too for those customers. I don't want you to feel like I've forgotten about it. All right, so let me just tin this real quick. I'm going to switch to the old man glasses here, so let me give you guys a different angle now to look at. So there's that. And let me shift this real quick, guys. 1 second. I think that'll work. So let me see if I can get this in frame here. Yep, that should work. So let's go this route. Boom, there. All right, so I'm going to switch so I can use this magnifying glass now, because my old eyes can't see. And this way I can knock this out real quickly. All right, this would be motor 3. And again, these are the 2207.5 1750 kV motors, the Cyclone Chaos series that are made for us by Brother Hobby. So that's what we're going to be flying on this one. And we'll be pushing it. It will be able to handle a 6S. I'm probably not going to fly with a 6S, but that's because that just goes into the ground that much faster for me. But soon enough, I will be back out flying more often. Right now, my passion is to get you guys frames that you love to fly, so that's my focus. All right, so that should be, I think that's all 4 motors, right? Yep, that's all 4. All right, so we'll get to mounting the motors real quick. Might as well get started on that. And to do that, I can at least get rid of this and switch back and get started. All right, so we're gonna get back to mounting the motors and seeing how everything's gonna look. And again, please do not forget, on the 4mm frame, I need to go grab the actual different screws, but we're gonna use 6mm screws with Loctite. And I just got done color coding a new batch of screws. They're all gold, as you can see there. So I know those are 6mm, painted by hand, thank you. I will put the Loctite in after this is done, just in case I decide I need to take the motors out. Let me go ahead and get this started. What do you mean arm variance? Tell me what you're talking about. I'm just kind of looking up here, so give me an idea of what you're referring to. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. That should sit nice. These are gonna come out real nice. And where's my coffee? Here it is. 1 second. Perfect. Oh yeah. 4mm, 5mm, and you can also change the arm out. So if you want to go with a shorter arm, you can. If you're going to be flying a smaller prop, I mean that's the fun of these things, right? I think I may actually have to go to 7mm. Sorry, this may not. Well, I'll do 6 for now, but I'm going to check and see because I don't think I'm getting the best. Well, no, that's all right. That's all right. It's giving me a little bit. We'll test it out and see. Yeah, 5mm, but I don't know where I put the darn thing. I cut it, but I don't know where I put it. Yeah, like, well, no, I wasn't really putting it like that as much as I was saying more like, hey, if you want to fly, you know, we can take the frame and to that make a 5mm 6-inch arm, so you still keep the same body. You know, everything I've done has always been to try to save you from having to buy extra components and stuff. So you know, I can make you. I'll add the arms to this build, and same with the other builds that have hot swappable arms, but add you a longer arm if you want to fly a 6-inch. I can make you a 6mm 7-inch arm, 7-inch prop arm that goes on the same thing. So really, all you're doing is taking the arm, and I guess if you wanted to put bullet connectors on here, you could to make it easier, but there's no reason why this thing cannot be used for a long range. The body, at least, cannot be used for a long range build. I mean, there's no sense in having to redefine everything when you have a body that holds the components you need. So I think that's going to work out pretty good. All right, now we've got all the motors fastened. All right, so at least we can start getting with that. I still think I may end up changing to 7mm screws. I'll let you guys know if I decide that after the build. Let me just check for something here on zip ties. See what I got here. Let's see, purple, and I guess let's go with something cool like, well, I really don't have a choice here, so this is not going to match at all, which might actually make it pretty cool. Right on. We'll go with orange. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and prep the board now. Get the flux pen out. I'm going to try something different today, and I think what I may do is I may put the capacitor on the bottom and just kind of get it done now, and see if I notice any issues with that. So let me just kind of go ahead and knock that out real quick and see if that'll work all right. It should be just fine, and there's definitely room here because I've left this gap for the capacitor, so I don't believe anything is going to go near that. So that should work just fine. Let me just verify real quick. Yeah, and the cap can sit here, and that would work out pretty good actually. Perfect. So we'll try that and see how that goes. All right, back to the old man glasses, so I have to change screen angles here. just get it started. The board's still a little wet, but we should see it hold here very quickly. There we go. That'll give me just enough hold here, and then I'll go ahead and take it up here. And we're going to use 14 gauge wire today on the XT60. I'm just going to get this started here just enough to hold it in place and not overheat the board. And right now the board's fine. I can put my fingers on it and we'll come back and finish this off later. I just want to kind of get it set for now, and that will work out well. All right, so let me get this off the table. Okay. I'm going to now go ahead and just finish the bottom of this real quickly because I will not really have much access to that after this. So let me just go ahead and knock that out. Excellent. Okay, so we're good to go. So our capacitor's in. That's one less thing we have to worry about. Now we can go ahead and get started putting the board in and tinning everything up. Hey, there's another little, there it is. Let me put this back on. As you can tell, I mean the board, I don't know how the camera picks it up, but I don't really make too much contact with the board when I'm soldering, like I'm not holding it there that long so the board doesn't get too hot. But I've used, like we've talked before, I've used pretty good solder, so it melts very quickly, adheres really well, and we are talking about this way. All right, here we go. So, make sure I want to do, yeah, we'll go this direction. Excellent. All right, so now we can fold our wires back a little bit, or just tuck them underneath. All right, and we'll start here and start tinning the board up. Sorry, let me know. I mean, we do have a storm here today, so the weather may be causing a little bit of a problem. Let me know if we have any issues, guys. We'll definitely, don't close. If the feed does pause, don't worry. We'll get it started back up. Please don't feel like it's over. I'm not going to end the feed. I'll just have to reconnect it if need be. I don't know if you guys will hear the thunder, but there's a lot of thunder going on. We got a lot of rain right now. All right, so we've got our board ready. Temperature on the board is good, not too hot, so that's good to go. And now we'll just get started. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'll come around and then see how much room I have to play with here. Let's get the tweezers. Okay. That's going to work well. All right. Okay, let's see where we're at now. Let's get the next one done. It's a little too long. Let me just kind of snip these up just a little bit. All right. God darn it, these tweezers. I thought my new tweezers would be in time. They're not here. These suck, but I'll deal with it for now. Just the grip keeps slipping on them. Okay. That's going to fit nicely there. These are going to fold right in on this crease so that when the board is down, we can go ahead and zip tie that one more time. Pink. What's pink? This is purple. What do you mean pink? Don't haze my colors. All right, let's see if we can make this. I want to keep everything as uniform as possible, so hopefully these are all trying to eyeball the spacing of them. It looks good. Keep this wire straight. Now this is going to turn up just a little bit. There we go. Yep, that's good. All right, one more motor, and then we'll be able to tuck all the wires in and make it look really sharp. Hey Ricardo, how are you, sir? Do I normally crisscross when soldering motor wires? No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if it's looking like that, but I go straight in the same order all the way through. So I don't crisscross any of the wires. Now, if you're talking about as I solder, crossing over one, but I mean, they go straight. So what you see on one is going to match all the way around. I hope that answers the question. I'm not sure if I understood it right, but if I didn't answer it right, just let me know and I'll answer again with whatever it is you may have meant. All right. So we're good. Now we're going to get this to look really nice here in just a second. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you're talking about swapping for motor direction. Yeah, no, I don't do that.
No, I keep everything uniform, and that's one of the reasons I like to pay attention to how I'm heat shrinking these wires, because they need to stay in straight line, and then everything else is done in BL Heli. All right, let me grab a couple more zip ties here. Get rid of these ones that are used. Okay, that takes care of that. Now we get to press the board down and tuck everything in nicely. So these should all kind of tuck under, and that'll give me one last chance to zip tie there, here, and here. Just get this bend down real quick. There we go. All right. I think because of the way those wires are going, I'm actually going to zip tie from this direction and put the fastener on this side, because the wire is seeming to hang over a little bit on that side, and that'll make a much stronger connection here. There we go. One. Sorry, I haven't looked up at the screen yet, guys. If there's been a question and somebody hasn't answered, just let me know and I'll reference back to it. But I'm trying to get past this point here real quickly. There we go. I may change that measurement. What did I put? 80. I may change it to 85, or at least the last wire. I find it's a little tight on what I've done here. A little tighter than I would be normally, especially while I'm zip tying it down. So there is some strain on that wire, but I mean, for this purpose, yeah, I'm not so sure I like that. Hold on a second. Yeah, I'm not comfortable with that at all. So I think that if you do cut this, and you're obviously, you guys know how to measure your own wires, but for my notes, the outside wire needs to be a little bit longer by a few millimeters so it can tuck down. So for right now, I'm going to leave these from being zip tied because I don't want to put too much strain. Once I'm done finishing the build, I can probably do it. All right, so the next step, I guess what we'll do now is we will go ahead and get the fasten this board down and get started on the next part of the build, which will be the flight controller. Oh wait, okay, so I'm sorry, I did this and I should have done something else first. I will show you guys one thing that I do. You may agree. Yeah, was it 75? No, because I grabbed an 80. I grabbed the 80 measurement, I think is what I did. So I grabbed the 80 because I don't know if I have 75 here. I don't know, I'll check in a second. If it was 75, whatever it is, I'll measure it again based on what I had left over, because here's what was left over. Well, I'll figure it out here in just a minute. But I'll definitely make note of it. From the back to the front, yeah, you may be right there on 75. So stretch it to 80. I'll make a for sure note of it when I'm done with this build. Because we're using these shock absorbing, the inserts, I like to put a larger 1mm spacer on top of them so they kind of pancake out. I noticed that when I put like a fastener, like a nylon nut on there, it tends to press it through and it can almost tear it up. So I've liked this method a lot more. You may choose to go that route or not, but it tends to save those vibration inserts, anti-vibration inserts, whatever you call them.
Oh, thanks, guys. I've blown up many components, so trust me, there's fire marks all over this bench. It sucks, but it happens. I'm sure you all feel me. We've all been there. I keep visiting there every once in a while too. All right. Oh, I don't think I can give up the building, man. I mean, you could fly. Let's start with baby steps, because this is my peace. This is my peaceful time, right? So if I give this up, I pretty much just phase myself out of the business. But doesn't mean I don't need it. I'm trying to open a bigger facility so I can have people help, but I'd rather do it here. Ah, thanks, man. I appreciate you. All right, so let's see where we're at. I will check and make sure everything has been tightened, but level still. It's kind of good to eyeball that, make sure you don't offset your stuff from the beginning, especially because there's variable with those soft mount. So let me see. All right, everything looks good so far. So far this is where we're at, right? It's pretty clean. It should stay pretty clean. And now we're gonna see how much gap we have from here. So on our flight controller, we are right now where it sits. We are hitting, without putting in the vibration inserts, we are hitting the ESC. So I'm going to go ahead and increase it 1 millimeter. And again, the reason for that is because I am going to be using those inserts on the top too. So I like to kind of just keep it consistent. So we'll do that. And I have a feeling that with that and this, we should hopefully be able to clear it. But I'll let you know in just a second. And then this obviously will go into the build notes so that if you guys do, if you guys do pick up some of these, you can reference this video and the build notes and get ready for your build. All right. I would also like to thank my wife, Samantha. You are unbelievable. She let me have the entire day. First of all, I went to bed at like 4 or something this morning, and she let me sleep in a little bit, and then she gave me the entire day to do nothing but get this frame ready. And I'm telling you what, she is heavenly. So thank you, honey. Without that support, I would not have been able to have this ready today for these folks. She's excited, by the way. And she helped me do inventory today, man. She was killing it for me today. Very thankful. Say what's up to my boys. My son has a bad fever. Hope you feel well, buddy. I love you. See you in a couple days. All right, sorry, I'm actually just, my fat fingers are not enjoying this right now, but bear with me a second. Then I will look up at the screen. If I take my eyes off this right now, I'm bound to lose this stupid thing. God, get in there, you piece. Huh, there we go. All right. How much would this configuration cost? Okay, so, thanks, guys. Wait, what is this? Oh, I appreciate it, guys. I promise you, I really do. Okay, so the configuration. So I would have to put the component pricing together, but yeah, I think that's probably fair. Hey, Aaron, what's up, my man? I think that's probably fair. I mean, something around that should be. Okay, so this is definitely a lot more height than I needed, but I'm going to leave it. If you guys can see right there, we have a pretty safe gap right here. I'll try to bring it up a little bit. We've definitely got some gap here, so we're not going to see any component touching at this point, which does leave me to have to deal with only one last thing, which is going to be, yeah, she's awesome, man. She really is. She's unbelievable. The one last thing will be the VTX. Now, this build, this VTX allows me to offset it, which could basically allow me to put the receiver right here, which is an option. I just cannot remember on this build how much room I have, so it's going to take me a little while to see. But I do like this VTX. I could offset it this way, and then put the receiver here. That's not a bad idea either. My only thing is I do not like the heatsink being that close. If I flip it around, which is recommended to have this on the carbon fiber, this would actually be a good setup. So let me see if I even have the room to clear it though.
So, okay, the flight controller's in. Let me go ahead and put a 1-inch standoff or 1mm standoff just to see what I've got to play with here. 3 and 4. These don't want to fit. Let me grab a couple more. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Okay, and then let's see, because we've got to clear, and I'm afraid we're going to get very close at this point. Yeah, it's going to be a little too close, I think. Let me see what I've got left here. It's going to be tight. We'll see. Let's see what happens. I think it's a 1000, Jeff. Yeah, it's a 1000, not a 2000. Now, on the original build, I actually stood it up here in the corner, and I was going to run duals, but I did not decide to do that on this one, but I don't know. I may revisit that here shortly. Okay, so with this, I'm going to be shy here by about... Man, I'm just, for all purposes, I may just break that... I may just break this display off. I mean, god darn, with smart audio, I don't need it anymore. But let's just see how close we are real quick. Where's my top? Where's the top of this? Here we go. Yeah, I may just take that piece off because I really don't need it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So we're already pushing too high here. So let me see. I may have to lower the flight controller a little bit. But let me see where I'm at. Yep, that ain't happening. So we're gonna switch VTXs out completely. Be right back and grab a different one. Okay, now that VTX clears with no problem, so that's good. And then we should have room for the top here. Let me verify that. Where the hell did I put the top? Oh, right in front of me, sorry. This sucker's such a tight freaking fit. No, that's not going to get either. All right, well, looks like we're going to have to drop things down just a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is reduce. I'm going to take this off real quick. We're going to reduce the gap on the flight controller to the ESC by just a little bit. I'm about 1.5 millimeters too high, which is any one of these spacers would be fine, but I'd like to know for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off here and just check and see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm going to take this off first. And I think what we'll do in this case is see if we can clear it, and we should be able to clear without any issues, just like that. And that does clear perfectly, and that gained us a little bit of room there. So good. So that will go on. Now we can finish this off, and I think we'll be just fine. Sorry guys, these are things that I find out as I build a new build, and so you guys have to deal with it too, I guess. All right, now let me see how off this is now. So putting this VTX on, I am going to be off by about 1 millimeter. Perfect. So rather than bolt the board down, what I will do, God, this VTX, I don't know what they did, but these VTXs fit tight. So rather than bolt the board down like that, I'm going to take the 1 millimeters off, put a 2 millimeter on, and I'll put that in my notes. So we're going to try with a 2 millimeter, and that should fit us very well into this setup. Now I could turn the VTX around and it'll clear, but I kind of want to keep it consistent here. So let's see. And that says that is a perfect fit right there. All right, now the test, let's get the top on here because we still have a receiver to put in. And the top should hit the purple standoffs, and it does. And there we go. So we are in good shape. Everything looks like it's fitting pretty well. It's a little short, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm probably 1 millimeter short, so I may just add a standoff right here on this plate just to make it work. All right. So now for the receiver, that's going to be an interesting one. We'll make the receiver fit one way or the other. All right. So let's get to wiring the flight controller and quit wasting time, shall we? I wish this would have fit though, man. This would have been ideal. How long have I been building? Oh, I don't know. A while. I really don't know, and I'm trying to be a smartass there. I don't know. I'll have to think about when that started. But give me some time. Let me put this on here real quick. Oh yeah, right. I'm sorry. I thought you when I read that, when I read what you wrote, I read VTX. I'm like, that ain't gonna fit. Yeah, that's where it went on the last one, and the one before that, it actually went on the board itself. That was on when I used the Hobby Wing stack. So let me just use my old man goggles here. Make sure I get everything lined up. Oh, perfect. Okay, now with that done, we'll go ahead and prep the board. My flex pen. Let's get rid of these. I don't think there's anything else, so there we go. Now we'll go ahead and pre-tin the board. Put all this crap away. So yeah, I used the white one. There it is. I used the white one. I remember when I did this, and the white one was an 80. So it was 80. So it needs to. The wires need to go to 85. At least the last wire does. The outside motor wire should go to 85. I'd feel more comfortable doing that. I can't pick these things up. My fat fingers don't pick these up very well. So let's just do this. I got to keep this table clean today. It's too expensive of a build for me to mess up. All right. Thanks, Aaron. What battery will I run? For me, I will run a 4S Sugar Rush. For everybody else that knows how to fly properly, this thing is being equipped for a 6S. So, and I could fly. I don't mean to down talk myself. I mean, I can do it. I really don't get the time, but I'm watching you guys do it, and I'm enjoying watching y'all do it. I live through you guys. Okay, so we are going to get started. So I'm going to switch camera angles now so I can solder with the old man goggles. So let me get that going.
Okay, so we've got that prepped up and ready. The VTX comes with its own set of wires, which is right here. And we are going to do our, let's see, I got this set up. So we're doing voltage in and ground at the bottom. So let me go ahead and get these prepped up. And this is going to sit, why did I do it like this, I guess? So I may try, let me see if I can clear this real quick. I don't think that's going to clear because of the front chip. Yeah. Oh, it's close though, damn it. Oh, all right, so we'll turn around. We're talking about a very, very, very short run. So the only one that's going to be the longest is going to be one, not that one, not this one, not this one. This one will have to go over to here, and then we've got these two, so perfect. Should be set. Those two are going to go right here, and then right here. So that run is going to be all of about 30 millimeters or so. So let's go ahead and cut those. And then this one's going to run underneath. TX should be right here. So we'll cut that. There we go. We'll just tin this up, get it done. And I don't need the 5 volt on the ground, so we can get rid of some of those. I'm going to take a wild guess and say Cyclone FPV. But I don't know. I might be a little biased on that one. But yeah, when this build is done, this build with pricing will actually be put online. Right now, the frame is online. And you do have the option when you go online to purchase a 5mm or 4mm. And the frame is $10 off right now. I promised I would keep things affordable. And so I'm sticking to my word on that. And then I'll have all that went into this build posted online with a package deal if you want to build it yourself. So, and don't forget guys, if you do have it built here, we can waterproof them for you. Just let me know. It is something that's added and optioned, but heads up for you. Remember that if you do that, it will come, when you receive it, it will be a little slimy because it is still have the chemical on it. Please don't worry about that. Just fly it. You can fly it into your pool when I'm done with it. You'll be fine. Don't do that though. It makes no sense, but you would be fine. All right, let's get these dipped. We're kind of rounding out the end. This is going to be a pretty quick build for the most part. All right. Oh yeah, I saw that. Thanks, bro. I will be pulling all the other builds off the site, guys. I mean, there's no doubt that there have been some changes and improvements to the builds and different options. So the Revelation is not going to come off. That's the tiny one with the prop guards and let me see. The Banshee 150 and 130. The only reason they're going to come off is because I want to take better pictures and put some more details of options and make it a little different. I don't want there to be a frames page and a build page or full build kit. I want there to be all in one. And you can either get the frame or get the kit. But I'm going to make it a little bit easier and then classify them as to what they would be for. Plus add this little micro mini little guy that I made. But yeah, you go on the site and you'll see it all there. There's a list I put on there of the tools that I use and things that I recommend. So especially on that $100 build, I listed that stuff. So if you are wondering what you should get, I listed what I use along with links. I get them all from Amazon, and I put the links on there as well. So you can at least find it and get the same stuff if you're looking for the same equipment. All right, let's get this done here. Wait a minute.
just come from the inside and turn it around. And if it's on the site, it's here in my place in Texas. So a lot of orders get shipped out same day. Sometimes they get shipped out next day. And if you order on a Saturday, don't count on it going out on a Saturday, because I did promise my wife that I would give her some time. If she catches me at the computer, well, then I am screwed. So all right, there we go. ETX is done. I guess we can add a buzzer to this. I don't really use buzzers, but something tells me I'm gonna need one for this because I'm probably gonna lose it. And I'm hoping that I can just get it to sit nicely. No, that $100 build is a 5-inch quad. The story behind that, and again, you see, I know that people are starting to wonder with the quality. The story behind that build is very simple. I ordered a ton of parts. I stocked, thousands of motors here right now, and I did it assuming that you would be able to do a good deal. So I've marked everything down, and I can move some of the parts that way. But no, that is a full build. It is a very good build. As a matter of fact, I've got one sitting behind me, and in a second I'll grab it and show you what it looked like. I did the live build a couple days ago, maybe on Friday, and it's a really good quad. I just when I feel like I've got enough ability to sell a kit, and then I can do it affordable for people so they can get into the hobby, I'm all for it. So that's why. But no, that's a good build. That little tiny one is totally different. All right, let me see if I can make this. I think I can clear this with the top. Yeah, should be able to. And if there's any unforeseen stuff, then I'll just take the buzzer off. But for right now, I just want to fasten it here. That'll work. Cool. Hopefully nothing's gonna get in the way of it. Okay, everything else, we just need the receiver and the camera. For the camera, I think I will do another, where the hell did I put it? 1 second, I've got to get on the ladder here real quick and grab this, so give me 1 sec. All right, so this time we're going to go with the Aurora, the purple. So blending nicely, look at that. I mean, that worked out well. All right, so let me get the wiring for this. And that should work out good, so I'll go ahead and cut that. The Revelation 85, yeah, it should be the main one. Unless there's something weird happening, it should be the main one that comes up. Unless I screwed something up, Lord knows. It's possible. All right. And guys, just remember, I cut all the frames, so I mean, I'm gonna get ready to cut some more soon. I mean, tonight I've got to cut some, but please understand that when you order a frame, I will be cutting it. I will try to cut in advance, but I still will be asking for a 1 to 2 week, and it really just depends. I have a feeling it'll be down to 1 week, but just have patience. These aren't something that are just mass produced. I've got to do each one, and I've got to inspect each one, so make sure to have some patience, please. Okay, there's our video feed. Here's our ground. There's our power. That looks good. Now we'll just get our receiver. Let's see, what receiver do we want to use today? Limited for space. Let me see. Let me know which build you're talking about. I don't. You're not talking about this quad, right? This little nugget right here that I made. And if that's not what you're talking about, then you're trying to think of which ones I did recently, other than the Revelation. Let me grab a receiver here real quick. Let's see, what do I want to use? My God. XM Plus, RXSR. Alright, we'll go with another XM Plus, I guess. Alright, I'm going to do the XM Plus, but I have not updated the firmware on this one, so that might even be the... Oh, yeah. You guys let me know. I mean, I've got them all sitting here on the wall. So I can easily grab it. Man, this is too big. I don't know if I want to use this one. But let me see. I should have gone with the RXSR. Nah, that's fine. Yeah, the Revelation I-85. That's the one, Julio, that's the one you got, right? I mean, that's the same one I just shipped out to you yesterday, right? Or today, whenever day it was. Because Julio was the guy that purchased the first one. So I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to do the, I guess we'll do the RXSR. Or I mean the XM Plus. I think I may go ahead and just update that firmware real quick, guys. Only because I don't really want to solder this and take it apart, so bear with me a second. Let me go get my transmitter.
To OpenTX. Switch warning.
Yeah. Be
Acro
quiet.
mode on.
Switch warning. I think this lady hates me. Oh, yeah, it's a blast. That quad is super fun. Really fun. All right, let's get the firmware done. This way I don't have to worry about it again. I will switch cameras for that so you guys can see that happening for anybody who needs some help doing the firmware updates. And this is going to go ground. And then let's put power. I soldered these damn ends on something so they don't get in there anymore like they used to, but hold on. What a pain. There's 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully that'll stay. All right, let's see if that works.
Hey, look, Julio, that's your name. This is when it's showing that. See, there's proof. I was testing your quad. Okay? Proof before I shipped it out. That's funny.
Okay. Let's go to my XM Plus. Where the hell is it? There it is. And we'll do this one. There we go. All right.
Aaron, when's your birthday?
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Wester. I appreciate that. Texas. Who's it? Who's it? I see. I don't know who's talking to me and who's talking to each other. So if I miss your question, I apologize. I'm reading, but I'm trying to keep up. Again, look, Julio, you're famous right there. Boom. Yeah, me, I'm in Texas. That's correct. I am in right near Houston. That's right. All right, let's set this receiver aside. This transmitter aside. And put this cable away, and we can get back to work now. Okay, so I'm going to solder the receiver, and we're going to work on finding a comfortable spot for it. Let me see how much room I got here. It's probably going to go right here, but I want to see if I can. You know what? I'm done with everything pretty much, so I can go ahead and just put this on real quick and see how much room I have on the frame as well. So let's put that. Okay, I gotta put that 2mm standoff there. Oh no, it's on. No, it's missing right here. All right. So when that goes on, and I put this top on, yeah, I don't have any more room for that. I was gonna say maybe I had room, but I don't. Maybe under here. No. So yeah, it's gonna have to go somewhere right here. Oh, that sounds like fun. We'll have to figure it out. Okay, let's get our 2mm standoff for this section. Right there. So everything's done. Now we're just going to go ahead and run the wire for the receiver. And we'll mount it underneath right there. And it'll fit whether it likes it or not. All right. Oh, San Antonio. Hey, yeah, there's a couple guys out there that shop at my place, man. They order online, so it's quick shipping, usually about 1 day. And I'm getting ready to actually ship an I-85 over to one of our guys that watches. He's pretty cool dude, and he's gonna fly it for me in the bar that he works at. So you need to catch up with those guys. They're good. I don't get to really meet many people in person because everybody's usually out of state or far away from here, but I'm looking forward to heading up to San Antonio and meeting some of those pilots. All right, let's get this tinned real quick, and let's get this job over with. Yeah, and by the way, I'm about 2.5 hours from San Antonio. Unless you drive like my wife, and God knows how long. But yeah, man, we're pretty much not too far from each other. All right, let's get this done. I don't. Shenanigans, I think, is what it's called, out in San Antonio. Dick Rose is his name. You can find him if you just search on our stuff. As a matter of fact, I was chatting with him tonight about getting ready to send him some stuff. So I'll be more than happy to pass you his information, man. He's always been very kind, good people kind of guy. So I'm sure you guys will go along. Well, I couldn't have cut that any worse. Jeez. All right, let's shrink wrap this, add some heat glue to it. Say that name. Oh, you guys don't like each other? Dang. That's good to know. Maybe I'm not understanding, so I apologize if I did not make right sense out of that. All right, let's get this done. Okay, our receiver's ready. Our mounting area is going to be right here. I mean, our wiring is going to go right here. I can't, let me look at this VTX one more time. What if I go this route? I wonder if I go this route, if I clear it. And then the receiver can sit right here, perhaps. I'm just testing right now, guys. This doesn't mean it's what I'm going to do, but I just wanted to see what options I had for that. Nah, I don't like that. Okay, well, we'll just go this route and we're going to make it work. Oh, God, y'all, I can't believe that. Y'all suck. I'm so sorry. Damn it. I hate you. Y'all just laughing. What, let me scroll. Yeah, sorry, I did. Thanks, Leo. I can't believe I did that. God darn it. Moments of stupidity. Thank you, guys. Shit. Well, what can I say? My bad. Y'all got to see my shiny head. Man, this thing's gonna bother me. I really wish I had a better way to do this one. Which, I mean, there's plenty of room right here, but I would have preferred it to be like I did the one that I flew. Unfortunately, this stack takes up a little bit more room, so I'm gonna have to come up with something. I'm gonna wish I had a better solution. Alright, well, either way, I need to wire it in, so let's just go ahead and wire it. Sorry about all that crap. Alright, thanks, man. That really though, the whole bald thing, you gotta watch out for that. I'm not paying attention now. I'm all self-conscious about it, staring at the screen to make sure I don't do it again. All right, don't worry. I'll be switching cameras. I'll be done soldering. I won't need this. I won't need this other camera angle anymore. This is actually going to delay me more than anything else. God darn it. This is going to go on here. Then where is this room here? I could... Well, you know what? I will have room right here. I should be just fine. This way I can feed this out. Yeah, because I forgot I'm putting a 5mm standoff there, so I think we're set. I'm actually going to go ahead and put this right here. That should take care of it. Okay. If it wasn't for that damn BTS, we would have been done. Yeah, it makes sense. Shut up. All right, that should do it. Now we'll get the VTX mounted and we should be good to go. VTX will go right here. Make sure I got my standoffs in, yep. There goes that. Turn this around. That fits nicely in there. Okay. And then I think we have about, let's see how many millimeters standoff I need for this. This is going to be about 4 maybe. So let's get a 4mm standoff. That's going to make it super strong. I think it's 4, but we'll see for sure. And I realize I cannot increase the height of this without increasing the side pieces. So, which, I mean, I can do that. That's easy, but yeah, that's too big. So 4 is not it. So let's try 3.
I'm not soldering anymore, so I said I would go with a there. Let's go that route. Okay. I don't know if that angle's better. I don't know which angle you guys like, which angle you like better. But if you want me to change it back to the other one, just let me know.
was gonna ask about a 10 millimeter. Listen, you want me to make this 10 millimeter? I can make the quad 8 millimeters, 5 millimeters. It's been done already. I got this, baby. Whatever we need to do. But it comes at a price. Every time I make it smaller, it's much, you know, you're limited on something like where to mount your receiver. Maybe I'll just mount it right here for now. This is ridiculous. If I wasn't so weird in the head, I wouldn't mind doing it like that. It's just everything has to be even and balanced to me. And I'm having a hard time having those antennas go one direction, but I don't think I'm gonna have a choice right now. So let me just do that and call it a day. Okay, I'm only lifting this up so I can pass the wire underneath. As far as the rest of it goes, it is done. So let me just lift this up, pass the wire underneath, and that is finished. Now we'll go ahead and close the top up, put the camera on, and everything else will just fall into place how it needs to. Here we go. Okay, good. All right, so now getting the side plates, get all this mess out of the way. Let's get the side plates. We have an XT60 to attach. We have a camera to attach. And I believe the plates are right here. Let me grab those. Straight down. Oh, let me see. Is that, I don't know, I guess that's, I'm not sure that really helps anybody, but there's a 3 volt. Anyways, there you go. Let me zoom this out real quick. Ooh. Come back in, come back in. There we go. All right. Y'all quit making me screw around. I'm just trying to knock this build out quickly, and of course I get sidetracked, and I don't have any more Ritalin to take for the day, so that's it for me. All right, let me find the side pieces here. Here they are. First one will be for the camera, and I did lower the camera mounting holes by I think by 1 millimeter, which I believe is now going to clear. It better clear. If not, it'll be 2, and I'll redo it. It's going to be close, but yeah, I think that will clear. All right, let me get the screws for it. Y'all shut up. Can I please just do my job? Shut it. I see. The toilet. All right. Well, you know, poor. I didn't mean to do that, but I get it. You people. I'll make sure to not make that mistake again. Hopefully. And I see now I can't see, and y'all got me all self-conscious. So let me just slide to the side here. There you go. Y'all are badass. You know I'm just joking. All right, let's see. All right, first thing is gonna be the camera. So let's make sure we get that in there good. go. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, that came out real nice. I think the whole thing is going to look pretty sharp. All right, now our XT60. Let's get some 14 gauge wire. It's going to be a short run for this XT60, so I'm just going to knock that out real quick. Shouldn't be anything too big at all. Figure probably not even that much, but let's just see. Not that much should probably be good. All right, guys, we are right about done. All I'm gonna do is do the XT60, then we'll power it up, make sure we got everything working, and we will be ready for a test flight tomorrow. All right, let's get this ready. This could be interesting. Never done this lazy before, but makes for a good holder. As long as the solder doesn't fly inside there, it should be fine. Not a very smart idea, but okay. Excellent. All right, did some heat shrink to tighten that up. I think I will use yellow for both.
Where are the tweezers at? Alright, Lego guy, where the hell did I put them? Come on. Anybody see the tweezers? No. Anyone? Oh, never mind, I put them away. My bad. Alright, here we go. Let's get this part finished. Alright, bear with me 1 second and we'll wrap this up. I'm just going to finish that soldering off. And there it is. And now we will attach the back of the frame. That's it. Alright, here we go. Now this may have been one of the problems, so let me just see if I can get around this. Damn it. Thinking that capacitor replacement may not work after all, but I'm going to see if I can make it work. Hold on. Let's see what we got.
Well, I could have put it on the second board, and I forgot on this flight controller I could have put it directly to the flight controller, and you know, but I mean, I'm gonna make it fit here. I just had to loosen up the stuff here real quick, but I think I'm just about in. There we go. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna sit fine. So let me just get that lined up. Tighten this down. Alright, put the camera back. And I think we can close this up. Make sure it doesn't explode when we try to start it. And then I'll figure out the receiver here in a minute. I may just make a plate for it on the bottom. Sorry guys, it usually, I mean, my God, this is supposed to be the fastest part, but because it's a new build, I haven't had a chance to put all the different components on to see how they fit, and that is my luck. All right, let's see where I'm at. That should wrap it up. I just need to put the 2mm pieces back. One of them I think drops. Let me grab another one here real quick. All right. Now I've got to clear the capacitor, which I don't think is going to be an issue. I hope it should be okay. And I've got to get an antenna on there, which I can do. And the only thing left is the receiver. All right. So here we go. Let's close this up. It should snap into place here. There's one. There's two. Same with the camera. Let's get the snap into place. There's one. There's two. Right. Now let's get the screws in to try to hold it in place. We will make it all fit nicely. All right, now I can hold it. I can start inspecting it and see what needs to be adjusted. All right, that looks good. So I'm gonna close this part, tighten this down, and I think this end is set. There's no issues here. Let me go ahead and tighten this down. Let's check this side. That looks good. Just need to put the VTX in. There it goes. Yeah, that came out good. That actually worked out real well. So that's going in there. I'll tighten this down. And now we can get a glimpse of the new, without a place for my receiver yet. Yeah, that'll work. So we can put the receiver down here and run the wires out the back. I think that's going to be the best option. So let me just situate this real quick. Give me 1 second. I could run the antenna out the front actually, if I wanted to. All right. Anyways, let me square this off here, and that pretty much does the build. And we'll get a full weight here in just a second to see where we're at. All components added on, and then we'll power it up. Make sure nothing fries. Okay. So let me just get this piece out of here. These antennas. Come on, douchebag, get out here. There we go. Yeah, that's gonna work right there. If I can feed this right through the center. There, perfect. All right. So we'll keep the receiver fastened up front. It's actually pretty easy access to also to your bind button, so you won't have any problems there. There's plenty of room for it, so I will fasten that down there when I'm done, and you will have your antennas. I can either bring them up through the top or through the back. I'll probably just have them stand up right here. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and knock that out real quick, and this way we can be looking good. Okay, so let's see where we're at now. This is where our session would go. So we can grab the session, or else you can just basically, what I thought would be good to fasten it down. I mean, like, it's just going to give you extra strength now, is you could actually tighten this down, and the center frame is solid because it's sitting on standoffs the whole way. So for right now, since I don't have the session on here, I wanted you guys, and David had a point to make sure you guys saw how thin it was without the session added. So let me do this. And if you don't want to put anything on the top, then just use a 30 millimeter screw, or a 40 millimeter screw, sorry. And that will probably stop it. Let me see, 2, 6, 8, yeah, about a 40 millimeter screw would be fine, or 30, whatever it was. All right, so there's our build, right? And there's how thin it is. All right, without the antennas being put on, because I'm still gonna kind of play where I want those to go, I may just have them come out front so they're more pronounced, but this is the build right now. I hope that is, I hope that's coming up pretty clear to you guys. I'm gonna just get the, voltmeter real quick. See if we have anything. Doesn't mean we won't have a fire, but hey, it's at least a better option. Let me just make sure that we're clean here all the way through. Oh yeah. All that's good. Here goes nothing. Let's see what we got. What are you guys talking about? Clear or green for what? What color are you referring to? Sorry, I'm just now looking up to see what you're saying. I apologize. All right, here it goes. I'm turning it on. God, please go smooth. Here, if there's a fire, you guys can see up close. And trust me, there could be. I mean, you know, things have happened, so I'm really worried about this capacitor because it's like laying right at my face. So let me make sure I got that. Yeah, capacitor looks good. Props. What? Hold on. All right, boys and girls. Looks like we got a good system set up. Everything looks clean. Sounds good. Exactly what I was hoping for. So let me put some props on here. Show you what we're working with. Let's get a final look at this. Let's get those antennas mounted, because if we want it to look good, we might as well go ahead and do that too. What I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to run them to the front. No reason for them to have to come out the back. So let's pull them back through here. Keep it as simple as possible. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it up right through here. So one antenna will come out this side, and one antenna will. Oh, I see. You're talking about putting props on here. It just dawned on me. I thought y'all wanted me to start it off with props on it, like screwing with me in case I cut my finger off. All right, give me 1 second. We're gonna finalize this so it's ready to go and it looks like it's supposed to. Okay. Let me get some zip ties. Oh, you're voting for yellow props. Okay. Well, you guys tell me, because I'll grab, I mean, it's going to be whatever's in this room, because I'm not going outside. It's dark. There's coyotes in the area. I don't play with the coyotes. But I think this little antenna setup is going to actually be pretty cool. All right. sticking with the color. Let me see what I can do for this. One more second, guys. Sorry. I'm just trying to find the right. Maybe this would work. Let me see if this will work. Alright, let's just try this and see if we can get something good out of it. Thanks, Michael. I'm very proud of this quad, man. I really do appreciate that. Getting the feeling this is the wrong size heat shrink, but I couldn't find the right one. But I'll change it out. God, it looks like shit. It's definitely the wrong size heat shrink. Okay, let's get this one, and then we'll go get some props. All right, guys, what props? What'd you say? Yellow? All right, let's see what I got. Let me go see what I got. I just put a bag away, so let me just see what I got. One second, you just have to look. I tell you what, here's a combination of a greenish yellow prop, okay? Let's try this with a greenish yellow prop and see what you guys think. All right? So, ready? Here. How's that for a color? I'll finish fastening it here and you guys can tell me your final verdict on this color here. Oh, you guys like it? Perfect. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. We'll use this one to be our official picture for the website. Let me find the last motor Dumaflachi, and we will have ourselves one heck of a quad here in just a minute. Let me put this away. Throw this out. I just need one more fastener, wherever the hell it went. Aha! I found it. We'll get a full weight here in just a second. That way you guys can see exactly how much this sucker weighs with everything loaded out like this. God, these props hurt, man. Sorry, I stood up to tighten this. I took it out of the picture, I know. All right, guys, here you go. This is the quad that we have just built. And there it is. This is the new Leviticus UL220v1 racing quad. Let me go ahead and change screens here. I'll give you a top view. There it is from the top. Sorry, the bench is dirty after the build. There you go. The top view, bottom view, and then let's just give it this way. Here you guys go. I love this build, man. I'm really proud of this build. I'm extremely excited about this build. And I see now where I could have dropped a millimeter. Probably could have dropped a millimeter on the board there, but overall I think so. Let's get the scale. Let's yeah, do my flats. That's technical. Let me put the view back down from above.
Sure.
Alexa, I'm not talking to you. Shut up. God, stupid Alexa. All right, guys. So we're gonna take a weight, and I'm gonna make sure that we have this scale set first. So let me get the weights real quick. Where the heck is it? There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna put a 50-gram weight on there just to make sure that we are synchronized. The scale is set, and then here we go. Alright, thanks guys. Alright, so we are, let me get this out of the way. We are looking to make sure this thing reads 50 to start. 50 grams, exactly. Alright, so now comes the moment of truth. With everything in there, fully loaded, ready to fly. God, please be good. Please be good. And please keep in mind that the props are heavier props. Okay, you've got a total with 60 amp ESC, the 1750 motors, everything, 276 grams. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about that, but 276 grams, fully loaded. This sucker is going to hum along really quick. So there you go. That's it. I guess tomorrow will be the test flights. I'm going to program it tonight. I hope that weight. Thanks, man. I don't know on the competitive level if this is what you guys would hope for, but I'm very proud of this build, and it's beast. I mean, what else can I say? I'm very proud of this. So, okay. So there you go. I'll put this in the corner so you guys can see it. Let me see. There we go. And so that's it. I don't know how long this build. It took 2 hours and 30 minutes, of which 30 minutes was trying to find the receiver spot. I'm sorry. I mean, that was just some dumb stuff. But with a new build, that's what happens. I'm really excited about this, guys. And I hope that I hope you guys. Oh, it went up a gram. This thing's gaining weight. Stupid. We can make it, you know, I mean, the props are 4 grams a piece, I think. I don't remember, maybe not. But I know they're heavy props. There is lighter. But let me grab something here real quick and see. But I think at the end of the day, I've got these T-motor props sitting here. And I'm just curious myself now to see. I don't think these are 4 grams, but let me just see how much these props. I may have misspoken with that, but let me just see where I'm at. They're 6 grams. Okay, so 6 grams. So you've got 24 grams. Whereas if we take, I mean, a Racecraft is a very heavy prop. Let me grab one of these and see. I believe this is the T-motor one that was sent to me. So let me see. So you got 6 versus 4. So you could shave another 8 grams off of the quad. Let me just, I want to see how that fits real quick. Sorry, I'm not trying to take up your time, but I'm curious. And then I'm going to go grab a 6S battery real quick, and we can just see how it all what the total is, but let me just see something here. Yeah, that's going to actually be good. So that would also, man, these are pretty sexy props. I need to go ahead and just try these out for the picture, I guess. Give me a second. I want to change this and then get an actual weight with these props on instead. Although I'll probably be pushing it with the racecraft because I'm used to flying those props. They're pretty vicious. But let me just try this real quick. 1, 2. All right, got 2 more props and it's done. Are you considering making a 2020 option? Yes. I mean, it's fine. I have not done the total numbers, but on the difference in weight, but it would take me nothing to modify the frame for that. So yeah, he has been. So all right, let me go grab that 6S high voltage. Okay, so with that on there, here is your 272. We'll go full screen on that. So 272. Okay. And let me go grab a 6S real quick. Okay, so I'm going to grab the 3 different batteries from Sugar Rush. So this is going to be the 4S. You're looking at 424. 5S. You're looking at 469. And hold on a second. Yeah, and 6S, 490. I don't know how that plays into what you guys like, but you've got 6S at 49. Okay, so and there you go. So 6.5 again. 5 is darn it, sit still. 469, and then 4 is going to be 422. Okay, so what's 565? Yeah. Not the, yeah, I don't know. This one would be, yeah. So they're all sub 500 with everything on it. Okay, so I hope that's what you guys were hoping for. I'm extremely excited about this, and there you go. So look for it on the website. I will have this exact build posted on the website, and we will get started. It's extremely light. Okay. We can try to make it lighter, maybe. I mean, I'll see what other options there are. The motors are going to be kind of heavy. I think these Bell motors are heavier than some of the other ones. But all right, guys. So that's it for now. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I really do. I appreciate y'all very much. I will do something else. I appreciate y'all with your compliments too. And check out the site. It'll be on there tonight. Have a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Peace. Take care, guys. Bye.